You asked some questions. Now Si's going to answer them.
Is this like pointless? I don't mean, is it actually pointless that we're doing
quite
this?
Possibly. Quite possibly.
I don't think I understand the rules of that actual TV show, to be honest with you.
You never watched it?
Stop touching your microphone stand. I've never watched a full episode enough to grasp the concept of it.
Would you remember when they used to do the thing where it was we asked 100 members of the public?
It was Family Fortunes,
It was Family Fortunes, wasn't it? Right. Well, imagine the opposite of that.
Yeah.
And if they asked the question to 100 members of the public and they didn't get this specific answer, then it's pointless.
Surely that's subjective, though, because that's like saying, what do you brush your teeth with in the morning? If I had to get a pointless answer, I'd say a dildo.
No, it has to be right.
It has to be right.
It has to be a correct answer.
A dildo.
Yeah.
But that could be right, but they probably wouldn't use that one because it's a bit...
Anyway. No.
Do you brush your teeth with the dildo? Are you the sort of person who shits in a changing
I
room?
thought it'd be a vibrator.
Well, if you're brave enough, an electric toothbrush is a vibrator.
Oh, yeah.
Whichever end you want.
Or whoever you're with. Anyway, questions.
Okay, so we're going to start off with... Have we done an intro? Did we do it?
Yeah, we said question and answers. Here we go.
Okay. TA31673 is asking, when are you going to open for new commissions? Example of a Luke Skywalker bucket.
As soon as we can.
Yeah, I mean, at the minute I've got that backlog of the hyperdrive.
Yep, you're on the hyperdrive.
Yeah, as soon as that's out the way.
They're your little babies, aren't they?
Yeah, and then we could do them after that, but we wouldn't need to be pushing on with the Bausch.
Yeah, don't know. As soon as
it's physically possible.
Yeah, not sure. Whenever the schedule will allow. I think on that one.
I'm going to rephrase it.
That's going to be the answer on every question, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to rephrase it a little bit. Is it likely that before the Bausch run is done, there will be a limited number of commission slots open?
I would have thought so, yeah.
Yeah,
because that's something we've been getting generally since we announced Bausch, is that question in various
I think it would probably be for more helmet commissions, though, won't it, rather than actual full suit commissions.
Yeah.
Okay, so any plans? This is from Mikey Black 1123. Any plans to do Boba Fett in the future? Any plans to do Boba Fett in the future once Bausch has been completed? Thanks.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I bloody hope so, because I've still not got one.
We need to organise the metal layers. I think that's the thing on that. I'd rather get them
machine parts for that, isn't it?
Make sure we've got all the metal layers on hand before we start that again. But yeah, we will do it again. We're just busy.
Yeah.
Okay, Kingston Marvin is asking, how come you don't offer the Scout Trooper in PVC?
The simple fact is that PVC does not take paint. It has to be that with the join in the middle that you just couldn't do it with PVC.
We've never even thought about it, have we? The original stuff's made out of pin seal
ABS, yeah.
And the helmet, you've got to glue it all and sand it all and then paint it all. We've just never really done that.
PVC just doesn't work well with paint or sanding, really, does it?
No.
It's like a one-shot deal with that.
It's a totally different beast. You can't really... you can't mess with it in the same way you can mess with ABS.
It's not too bad when you're doing like the TK helmets where you're only doing a small area of paint. We can work around that. But if it's a whole helmet, it's just...
You've got to build and sand the helmet. There's a lot of work that goes into the helmet, and it's not... PVC ain't going to be the plastic for it at all.
16 Dave is asking, any plans for another X-Wing signature edition in the future?
We've still got the gold leader to do.
Yes, we have still got the gold leader to do.
There's plenty of plans. There's plenty of stuff queued up, but
certainly on the X-Wing, I don't think there's any left. There's possibly one or two from Return of the Jedi. I could.
What you mean, people to sign? Or?
People to sign, yeah. But most of ours are A&H, and I think that it's just those guys just aren't around anymore. It's a shame, you know. I'd love to be interviewing each and every one of them. But yeah, it's. I always put the challenge out there with anything like this. If there's anyone that can find any of the signers, and if they want that particular helmet, if they can get me the details of that particular actor, and they become a signer, then I'll give them a free helmet.
Also, there's just the one. Do we have a plan properly?
Well, we are at the minute, yeah.
And two, we've got that much stuff that we want to do.
Yeah, there's still a lot to do, isn't there?
Doesn't include X-Wing helmets.
Not at the minute.
And it all depends on what the team's doing and who's free. So, I don't know. We never really know. Who knows what might happen next year?
Andy Lindsay 7 is asking, will you ever do an unpainted option of the Bausch that we can do ourselves?
Not thought about it. So, see, you're asking questions now, and I'll just give you a bit of a brief outline. Last week I went to Peter Gabriel concert, and Andrea was moaning at me like 3 days before about me not knowing what my plans were for that evening. And the thing was, when I have to deal with it, because it's imminent, then it'll get dealt with. But other than that, then my plans, like tomorrow night, this has been recorded. Tomorrow night, we're going to see Maiden. Yeah? We don't know what our plans are.
I've just asked him, what's he looking forward to tomorrow night? He said dinner.
That's not surprising.
And all being out.
And all being out, yeah. For a nice change.
But what was the question? Are we planning on what?
Unpainted Bausch.
Not even thought about it because we're too busy.
I'm too busy still working on
building them at the moment
on the commissions that we've got.
If we do, it's probably only going to be a little handful.
That's a big if.
It's a big if, yeah.
Okay, pilot.
See, the thing is, we'll probably move on to the next thing. There'll be another project that'll take up all our time, so problems.
Well, that's a lovely segue to the next question. Will there ever come an ATAT driver helmet?
I can hear my phone ringing.
Yes.
Yeah, the ATAT's definitely happening, maybe sooner than later as well.
Well, we've actually made some progress on that. We can't go into it, but we have made some progress on that.
Progress has been made.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. I think it's interesting, that question, because that's someone who may be new or newish to the channel or RS in general. We announced the ATAT helmet 4 years ago. We did a giveaway at the time. Someone's still waiting for their
patiently.
And obviously none have been built because
his name's on the spreadsheet.
This is to emphasise as well that things don't get done until it's right.
Yeah,
Bausch didn't get done until it was right, even though those books have been sat there for 2 years.
What did we do? Did we make two? Did we make both ATAT helmets?
Do we make both?
Did we? No, didn't we make both? The two different variants, like, was it either both with a red stripe and different on the Trident, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we did make both. Can't remember where we put the red stripe. We did put the red stripe.
We did put the red stripe on one of them. Yeah.
So we did make some prototypes, but that was probably about 5 years ago.
Yeah. And then we would.
And we weren't too happy with this bit, and we weren't too happy with that bit. And the same is still the case, but we've got more information now, haven't we?
More information, more. There's greeblies as well that we, have,
and more emphasis and other things surrounding the team and what we're doing is leaning towards that. So that could be happening.
This is from a guy named Imperial Intern, who, if I'm right, is actually a lad named Alfie. I met him at a celebration with Paul. And Alfie wants to know, how can I carry a phone, a water bottle and wallet when wearing TK tie scout armour?
TK tie and scout armour?
I don't think he means all at once.
Don't know. I wouldn't.
But that's
I
what I
wouldn't.
thought was going to be the short answer. I thought the short answer was going to be you
Yeah.
don't.
I do remember
think-
a while ago when we first started doing this, there was a guy that was doing like neoprene bags that would sit under the chest. Now they were for your speaker. So I don't know whether you could get away with something like that.
I think what I'd recommend is a helper to look after you.
Yeah.
We usually call them spotters when costuming. So usually someone out of costume is going to carry all your stuff, aren't they?
Yeah.
And look after you, and then let you have a sip of water and, you know, pamper you, make you feel like the star of the show.
Man Meets Pug is asking, it ties in with something before a little bit, but when can we see more X-Wing or Rebel helmets?
Soon. I say once we get the Bausch out of the way.
Which is going to be a big chunk of this year.
Yeah, and then end of the year, next year, we've got excuse me, we've got things like that we've already announced, like the A-wing and the B-wing and the Rebel Donut. So they're still all in the planning stages.
Yeah,
So
planning.
there are more Rebel helmets coming. We've still got a huge portfolio of stuff that we want to do. It's just a case of keeping an eye on the socials and
That's
wait and see.
That's why we've cut down a little bit on the commissions, isn't it? The full costume builds to allow us some time to get the R&D and develop some of these other projects.
This is from Marcus Talaman. Will RS customers be able to get their hands on the collaboration Stormtrooper, and I presume that means the DMD statue?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Of course.
yeah. There'll be as that develops, there'll be regular updates and news and stuff as we move forward.
Yeah, because a couple of questions we had regarding that at the beginning was people were asking, are RS going to sell it? Obviously, I can cut this out if you don't want to talk about it.
We're not sure on the finer points of the logistics.
No, but I just thought this might be good to drop in if you want to, but people were talking about they don't want to buy from the States because they don't want to deal with all the hassle of it. So UK customers essentially want to know, will RS be selling it to cut out all the hassle of import?
It wouldn't be coming from us anyway.
Well, we're looking at that. We're looking at all that because I know what their issues are.
Right.
It's all to do with importing in it. So they're looking at, are we going to cover importing and sorting that out? We're looking at it at the moment.
Right. Have you discussed that with Dan?
Yeah, in a roundabout way.
Okay.
For the Americans, it makes no sense for him to import them. That's why they go out the way they do. But for the for the UK, it would help.
That's how he does it. Yeah.
But for the UK, it would help.
Yes.
You'll know where this one's from, Simon. When are you coming to Italy?
When am I coming to Italy?
Well, RS, when are you coming to Italy? The question is, but I'm saying you'll know who that's from.
Piero?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he did give us some dates the other week, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
Well, apparently so, because he messaged me saying he'd give you some dates.
Oh, right. I'll have a look at that.
So, yeah, we need to have a look at that, because I do want to get out there. I've never been to Italy. I so want to go and see the guys out there and the Absolute crew and have a few evenings of...
A few tattoos.
And a few tattoos as well, yeah. Might get a sleeve, you never know.
You'll need more than a weekend.
Don't know. Might be a felt pen.
Harry's Collectibles is asking, will RS Prop Masters ever get into making creatures, as armour has always been your thing?
I don't think so.
No.
Don't think so.
There's so many other guys out there doing it that are doing a really good job of it.
And we've got so many projects that we've already got on the go.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
I think I'll be dead before we ever get time to do anything like that.
All right, we'll finish on this one then, because I know this one comes up a lot, even when we're not asking for the Q&A
Funny
elements of
biscuit.
it. But will you do another HDPE A&H helmet again?
We could do.
We could, if we can get the plastic.
I mean, we don't. Well, I wouldn't rule it out. It all depends for what reason or what it is that's motivating us to do one.
Like a 20th anniversary helmet.
Well, that's only a few years away, so I'll probably be dead by then. Well, I think it would depend if we've got a sign, someone to sign it, or there'd have to be something a little bit special about it.
Yeah,
to make it
a signature edition.
And do a limited thing. So quite possibly, is this somebody who's new to the channel who's not had the opportunity to get an HDPE helmet?
No idea. They're just called your friendly stormtrooper.
Well, I'd be interested to know. Comment below if you've not got an HDPE helmet from us, and that's your motivation.
Can we say something like there are only certain helmets which have been retired fully, as in the Y-wing behind you, and therefore there's always a possibility of something else?
Well, there's a lot of helmets that have been retired, like the Anthony Forrest one that we did, and Colin Michael Kitchen's one that we did, and the Jim Dowdall one that we did, and the
Chris Bunn,
and Richard Bonehill, and so there's a few, and I don't know, but there's other people and there's other interesting stuff that we could do, even with the HDPE helmet.
Okay, that's enough for me.
So I mean, there's that much cool Star Wars stuff that we could be doing. We don't really want to look backwards, do we? We've done some amazing stuff, and that's got us to this point, and there's still more to come until I die.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, should I have put down now?
The end.
Or you die. That's it for questions for this week, this time, this month, this quarter. I don't know when we're next going to do a Q&A.
Don't know.
I don't know either, because planning is not really what I'm into at the moment, because all I'm thinking about is building, prepping, and Bausch.
Okay, wrap it up.
That's it. So until next time.
It's good night from me.
And what are we going to be doing next time?
It depends on when this goes out.
Oh,
We're getting ahead of ourselves now because
I know what we're going to be doing. Bausch.